founder of the Reluctant Leader Academy. And now this week, this show is about the reasons why you might want to write a book. The reason why I just seem to be that there's a lot of stuff that's coming up on my feed at the moment about people that have written a book, are thinking about writing a book, and actually offering some support around writing a book. So I thought, well, I'll just put my spin on, why you might want to write a book and the motivations behind writing a book. So this episode is going to be about the 9 reasons you might want to write a book. And the reasons why I picked 9 is that I know there are 9 motivations to work. So I thought, well, I'll think about how those are actually relate to writing a book and why they would make you write a book, and how you would actually then link them to those motivations. Because ultimately, everything we do is driven by our motivation. If we can't see a motive, so in other words, if we can't see a motive to write a book, then we won't write it. But when the motive becomes really strong, we understand what that motive is, then we then get on and do it. And then we obviously stick at it and make sure we finish it. So let's crack on and look at the 9 reasons. So the first reason that comes up is the motivation for security, stability. Now, why would this be linked to writing a book? Well, if you write your own book, then that means that you have some sort of stability, and that you are telling the things as you see it, and you are having some status quo, I suppose, in that you are working from that book, you've written it and it's your stuff. So you feel as if you're connected to it and it's your stuff, with regards to having a feeling of security and stability. So reason 2, the star. Now the star motivation is around getting noticed and getting recognition. So obviously that can be quite easily linked to writing a book, in that if you write a book, you presumably would want to get noticed. It might be one of the things that you've written a book because of why you've written a book, I should say. So that you're definitely going to get that. So if you are motivated by recognition and getting noticed, then writing a book certainly might be something that would be useful and motivating. Next motivation. The friend motivation is about belonging. So that's how can we fulfill that motivation by writing a book? Well, if we write a book, then we can connect with those people that we want to connect with. So we feel a feeling of belonging because they like our stuff. We can give the book to them so they feel as if we're connected to them, and we're using the same sort of material. So we're creating almost like a relationship with that book. So that's one way that writing a book might be something that motivates you, and link into something that is motivating for you. Next one then is director. So the director is about having control, and by writing a book, you could say that you are having some control. You're having control over the content. You are having control on how people see your content, it's in the same sort of format. So definitely a book written by someone that is a high director would probably be focused around that motivation, around having a feeling of control and influencing others by using the book as a medium for that. Next one is the builder motivation. So the builder is around money and material satisfaction. So writing a book to make money is obviously something that possibly might be something that drives you. I know it's quite difficult to make money directly from the sale of books because you're having to sell so many, but it might lead on to the ability to make more money because you are able to sell that book as maybe as a first sale on the sales process that you have. So it might lead on to more sales, not just the sale of the book, but actually sales from the book that come from it. And I know a lot of books these days aren't just the book, they're actually they're part of a process, part of a system, which is obviously then leads on to more work. So if you are driven by money and material satisfaction, writing a book could well be a good thing to do. The next one is the expert motivation. Well, that lends itself very nicely in respect to writing a book, because if you write a book, then you are showing your expertise. And what people that are high experts want is to firstly learn. I think by writing a book, you'll certainly learn things, because you have to sort of go deep diving into your subject and really get to a bottom of maybe some things that you hadn't looked at before in such detail. And secondly, experts tend to like to share their knowledge and teach others what they know. So again, that will be a high expert. There will be a reason, a motive around writing a book to show your expertise and share that knowledge. Next one, the creator motivator. The creator is around innovation, bringing new ideas. So that would definitely lend itself to writing a book. If you're motivated to bring new ideas into being, it's certainly going to be a good vehicle for that, so that you can share what you've learned and then maybe package it together in a innovative new way, so that people can actually make use of that knowledge in a way that you've created it, in a way that they can use it the way you see, in your special way that you've created and put a name on it. So definitely a creator motivator will be a strong reason to write a book. Next one is the spirit motivation. So the spirit is around freedom. So if you are high spirit and freedom is something that's important to you, a book might give you freedom in that you will basically be able to make your own decisions, help you make those move towards the freedom of your own doing, so you have control over the way you do things. And it might be a vehicle to lead you to make that big decision to maybe start your own business, which could possibly give you more freedom. It's not obviously guaranteed. Businesses don't automatically give you more freedom, and from my experience, actually they tend to take away a lot of your freedom initially, unless you run them well and have a plan around making sure other people take on responsibilities. So freedom, the spirit motivator in this case, freedom is something that you certainly could fulfill by writing a book and knowing where it fits in with regards to what sort of freedom you're working towards. And then finally, and by no means least, the drive for making a difference. Now that's an obvious reason to write a book. If you are able to get your message out in a more effective way, make it more available to more people, that means you're going to make more of a difference. And also, people tend to leave feedback when they've written a book. So if you are driven by making a difference and you get the right feedback, you know that you're making a difference. People are using the information that you're sharing. So it might be a great vehicle to fulfill that motivation. So that's the 9 motivations and how they might fit in with regards to writing a book. I hope that was useful. It was just a bit of fun, really. I thought I would just use my knowledge about motivation and with regards to writing a book. Whether you want to or not is entirely up to you, but it will be affected by what your key motivations are. So I will bid you farewell. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Get Savvy show by the Reluctant Leader Academy. My name is Mark Terrell, and you can find more details and also connect with me at thereluctantleader.academy. And I would appreciate any comments that you have around this video. So if you feel free to do that, and I will follow up and get back to you. Thanks for listening, and I will catch you soon on the next episode of the Get Savvy show by the Reluctant Leader Academy.